Oh man, we're live, baby. We live. What's really good? What's really good? I'm really trying to do a little quick ad hoc show right about now. Kemetic spirituality, stand up. I'm doing it differently. I'm actually on this Hangouts right now, so I'm doing a live stream. So I don't know where's my notification gang at. If you're in my notification gang, let me know because I'm live and direct right about now. Okay, let me get into this then. I see you, Just Facts. I see you, man. I don't know where the notification gang is at, but if you aren't already notified, hit the bell icon down below. And also, if you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the subscribe button, hit the subscribe button. And all my diehard fans right about now will be hitting the like button because they love what is about to go down, and they love what we're doing here at Talk with the Titans TV, baby. We laugh. What's good, Teach? What's good? Gang. I love it. Reason over dogma was really good. So you know what? Yeah. I always say I'm trying to do a quick show. But then the quick shows tend out to be like some hour and a half, 2 hour long. Even the other day we did like 4 hours, 4 straight hours. I don't know how we did it, but we did it. The stamina is high, Oh man, them ways day. I've been eating on some. Anyways, let me get into this now. Let me get into this. Actually, so yeah, man, like Phil. So what I want to do, I'm going to lay the foundation real quickly. Give you a little taste, a little tantalizer. But Simba, Phil, who else do I want up in here? I want my brother Asar M. Carr up in here. I want a few other brothers. I'm loving my American Connect. So if I can get some more American Connects over in here who deal with the Kemetic spiritual system, that would be powerful. So I want you guys to come in because I want to talk about Kemetic spirituality. And we're saying Callum, man, like Black Eyes TV came to Harlem. You and Sarah, well loved here in the States. Love, my brother. Give thanks. So yeah, man. So yeah, I know the family is everywhere. Trust me. So that's all beautiful. So what I want to do actually is do a show. Hopefully, I'm gonna say hopefully tonight. Yeah, is that? Yeah, baby. Oh man. So yeah, I want to do a show tonight. Okay, sorry, you need to come true as well. On Kemetic spirituality, because we hardly ever touch on the spiritual aspects of Kemet. Usually when we're talking about Kemet and when you hear the word Kemet floating around, we're technically only discussing the philosophy of Kemet, but there's so much more to do with Kemet. There is the science, the Kemetic sciences. There's also the Kemetic spirituality. There's a whole list of things. But I know not everybody deals with the Kemetic culture. Okay, there's the culture, what they ate, what they dressed like, and all them things there. Hardly anybody deals with that. I see man like Shaka Atmos, he's representing. Man's got he's locked to the side, he's hair locked and all sorts. Certain people deal with the cultural aspect of Kemet. Other people deal with the philosophy of Kemet. Other people deal with the science of Kemet. Other people deal heavily with the spiritual aspect of Kemet as well. So Kemet obviously is, when I'm using Kemet now, I'm using it as the civilization, the ancient Egyptian civilization, and the things that's recorded on monuments, temples, whatever you want to talk about. And so we know about Kemet, but let's get into the spiritual system. So I want a certain car because I know you're heavily into it. I know you're part of the spiritual systems. So I definitely want you to come in and talk about it because most people don't have a clue about it. You with me? So let's do this. So what we don't do, I want to drop a little taster, a little teaser, get people like tantalized with what it's all about, what Kemet teaches and so forth. So with spirituality, okay, so Kemetic spirituality. Let me go there actually. So with Kemetic spirituality, we're talking about spirit. Spirit is the opposite of tangible or physical or body-like. So we're talking about the incorporeal side, the things that are unseen. Some people call it the ghaib, things that you cannot literally see, but it is things that deals with your psychology, your psychic abilities, the breath, all sorts, anything to do with things that aren't tangible, like dreams, like visions, and all those different types of things there. It's not tangible, so we call it spirituality. But the spirituality encompasses a whole list of things. We can do affirmations, we can do prayers, we can do meditations, we could do visualizations, we can do incubations, which is, planned dreaming and stuff like that, communicating with different things and so forth. So I want to get a whole list of these different categories that we could actually discuss hopefully tonight, and maybe for a series of discussions as well. That would be powerful because I think a lot of people don't actually know anything about Kemetic spirituality. So it will be wonderful to actually discuss those things. If you have any information, like let's bring out books like the Hosea, let's bring out books like the Book of the Dead, bring out books like the Coffin Text, the Pyramid Text, the Book of Offering, a Pep, the Revolutions of Ra, all sorts. Like we need to bring out all of those different types of scrolls, the Book of the Amadawat, the Book of the Caverns, the Book of the Celestial Cow. Like we got so much. I definitely want everybody to go in with this and get more familiar with what's going on. So what I'm going to do right now is drop a little jewels to you guys. I've got books right next to me right now. So I'm just thinking, where do I want to go? So I want to go with how we conceptualize ourselves. Okay, so this is like the Ma'at or the Kemetic, how can I say it? Ancestry / anthropology. How do we view our origins, or how do we view ourselves as human beings? Now, one of the most empowering concepts for me is the Senen Necha. Senen Necha literally means the image. Yeah, the image. Senen double. Yeah, your double is literally your image, right? So it's your image, the image of the deity, basically. So we are literally God's second. Some people will consider this, if you're talking about an Islamic school of thought, that could literally be somebody's successor, which is like a Khalifa or something like that. Obviously, when you go into the biblical side of things, human beings are really created as caretakers for the Garden of Eden, so to speak, or for humanity or for the world, whatever the case is. So we have that similar concept, which we had it way before. So I'm going to read out something to you as well. It says here, as noted above, the Senen Necha concept, both as a general anthropological understanding and as a distinct term, emerges in the first immediate period. So this emerged 2135 to 2040 BCE. So this is over 4,000 years ago. We had the concept of the image of the deity, or human beings being the image of the deity. Although the philosophical portrait of the king suggested this and provided supportive concepts, the term was not used to describe the royal ruler until the Middle Kingdom in the 13th dynasty. All right. Important in several ways. First, it is an inclusive concept without regard to distinction of nationality, class, or sex. So that means there, what nationality you are, black, white, Asian, Chinese, no matter what sex you are, male, female, or other, because there is others nowadays, and class, whether you're a peasant, whether you're a nobleman, whether you're a king, whether you're middle class, lower class, upper class, whatever the case is, we are all considered to be, images of the deity. Personally, I find that as a very rich and empowering concept. If you've seen my content over everything interview, I touch upon it there. Where how I view myself and how I view everybody else. So that's a very massive concept inside of Ma'at, or inside of Kemetic philosophy or spirituality. Secondly, is the oldest expression of this concept in world literature. So basically, this is the oldest expression of this concept. So before the Bible, this concept was in existence. Thirdly, it is important in that it predates or precedes royal imago Dei categories. So that means like God being, the Pharaoh being godlike. Basically, it predates that concept of only the Pharaoh could be godlike, basically. So fourthly, the Senen Necha concept is the spiritual and ethical grounding for concepts of the sacredness of life, human dignity, and human moral responsibility for Ma'an practice. In a word, it is at the center of the Matian understanding of what it means to be human. All right. So that whole concept there of being in the image and likeness of the creator, of God, of the deity, of nature, and so forth and so forth and so forth, the divine, whichever name you want to hold on to, like that there is the fundamental, one of the most fundamental principles within side of our understanding of humanity and the world. Okay, everybody is in and after the image of God. So when most times I hear people talking about, especially from Kemetic side of things, oh, you people are racists or black supremacists and all these things there, and they're relating it to the term of Kemet. I'm thinking, I don't know, if people actually understand what Kemet teaches. It doesn't teach that at all. No matter what nationality, sex, gender, whatever you are, yeah, like we view, or we're supposed to. Let me not even say we do. We are supposed to view everybody as being equal in that respect. We're supposed to be viewing everybody as how they would view God or the creator and so forth. Like, that is so enriching. Imagine that, imagine that. Most people don't even get that, they don't get it at all. Like, when I see you, I see God. The only way is there. I know my Hindus and so forth, they have that concept. I believe they have their concept, because when they do the namaste, they bow into the divine in you. Like, it's a powerful concept, because I don't know how you're gonna do anything wrong to your brother or sister, or should I say wrong to another human being, if you view them in and after the image of God. It's impossible if you are right-minded, or if you're moving in the right way. So that's one thing. Now, there's a second concept I actually wanted to give to you as well, is that what is key here for Ma'atnian anthropology and therefore Ma'atnian ethics. So Ma'atnian ethics is the acting like God, for it is in the practice that divine image is both delineated and proved. So basically, we have a concept called Iri-Ra, or Iri-Nature, or being like, or Mi-Ra, or Mi-Nature. And that is the concept of acting like God. Dad. So yeah, that is a powerful, powerful, powerful concept. Sorry about that, the mic muted. So that's a powerful, powerful concept of being like God and acting like God. Now, because most times people ask me like, "Raw, like, so what are you saying? What's your purpose in life?" And I'm like, I say it so blunt, yeah. I say it so blunt, and I know most people would never understand it, because you have to just give them the baby steps and walk them up so they can come to understand it. But I say it so blunt, yeah, just to give it to them as a shock therapy, because they're like, "What? Hey, no, no," and I'm like, see, this is why, yeah, we have to speak here in degrees. You have to literally speak in degrees for people to get what you're talking about, because they're coming from another concept, another understanding. That's why Ma'at is literally, the concept of Ma'at is realizing Ma'at and uprooting or destroying Isfet. So in order for you to put Ma'at, or truth and justice and facts, in its right place, you now need to uproot, okay, the lies, the falsehood, and the treachery that people have been given. So otherwise, it's just going to cause confusion. So usually I just simply say, my purpose in life is to be God. And they're like, "What? Astaghfirullah. What are you saying that for? You can't say that. You're not God." And I'm like, okay, I don't mind. I'm not saying I'm your God in that respect. I'm not talking about whatever concept of Yahweh, Allah, Jehovah, Jesus. I'm not even talking about that. You ask me about me and what I actually ascribe to. But you don't get it, so forget about it. But so our concept is to be like God, to act like God, and to do things as God would do. That's the highest form, because it says here, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, the highest expression of praise. If somebody really loves you and praises you so much, guess what the highest form of expression is to actually copy you or emulate you, or imitate you. Like, I know back in the day we used to get upset by it, like people just imitating us. Like, you buy the freshest crepes ever, a week later you see next man just buying the same crepes as you, or whatever, you doing something just fly. You get me? You just set trends, and then somebody does exactly the same thing as you. Sometimes it off pisses you, yeah, but at the same time is good, because they actually see the high quality that you actually are displaying, and they want to actually emulate that. So for me, it's a good concept. It's a very good concept. So whatever God does, you need to act like God and be like God. Because most people are asking about, "Oh, so what type of rituals and prayers and things that you do?" So at the same time, we do prayers, and we do certain rituals like that. So this is certain forms of spirituality. We do those things. But again, I think most people will never actually understand it unless they come in to a Kemetic school of understanding. Because if you're coming in with your Western understanding or your religious understanding, and then you're listening to these types of prayers or these rituals, you'd be like, "Fam, man, don't get it." And I know you don't get it because you're not part of it. If you can't get it, it's because you can't get in. So what I wanted to do actually is leave you with a couple of things still. Like, I'll leave you with a few things, because I know people are asking, like, so what type of things do you do ritual wise? So I'm going to leave you with, let's say, some prayers. So in terms of, the Kemetic school of understanding, there is literally 3 prayers you do on a daily basis. Okay, at 3 specific times. Okay, 3 specific times. We dealt with astronomy and connecting with the divine via its manifestation within nature. Okay, so the 3 divine portions of time for the normal layman would be dawn or morning, when the sun rises or begins to rise. And then the second one would be noontime. And the third one would be at when the sun sets, basically. These are the 3 divine times that we usually do our prayers at. For most people who do not know that Kemetics actually have a set time of prayer. I know they're like, bro, so what? It's kind of like the Muslims. No, the Muslims are kind of like the Kemetics, if that makes any sense. Like one predates the other. Like, you know, the ways there. Like, you can't say, yeah. And even the Christians and the Jews, they have the same concept as well. The Jews have the 3 different prayers a day and so forth. So this is all stemming back. We see in Kemet, we have those 3 allotted portions of time. Now, this is just for the layman, like layman 3 times a day. Others can pray 5, 7, and even 12 times a day, even 24 times a day, depending upon who you are. So if you go into the priestly class and you're doing things on behalf of humanity and the divine, you'll have different times of day where you actually commit to prayer, and you have to do those particular prayers for the divine. You have to commit to it. Otherwise, boy, it's kind of peak still. Let me just see what's going on. So the family's just messaging me like crazy. So these are the simple things that I'm talking about. What else? What else? What else? Should I give them something? Should I give them something? Let me think. What should I give? You know what? I'm going to give you something that I particularly like. I particularly like is my morning. I say morning, yeah, but I'm a nasty man, you know. I was a bit not saying I'm a nasty man like that, yeah, but at certain times, yeah, of the day, yeah, I can't even commit to that. All right, let me know. Let me catch joke. I'm catching joke of my own self. All right, so we have some things called like a ritual for when you actually wake up in the morning and you cleanse yourself, bathe yourself, and so forth. I'm going to give you a little quick run through of something in English of what we actually do for those of us who actually follow this. And it's let me do it actually. So basically, when before you brush your teeth or wash your face and all the things there, you go through a ritual that emulates the creative principle that's manifest within inside of nature. So let me give it to you like this. So it says here, I am a child of Ra. I'm a child of the Lord of life, the Lord to the limit. I am created from the tears of the eye of Ra. I bathe. Oh, let me go for it. As Ra, let me actually read it, you know, because my mind is not even focusing. As Ra bathes in the waters of the lake of rushes, so now do I bathe in the waters of the lake of rushes. As Ra, I am purified and cleansed. As Ra, I am rejuvenated and renewed. Okay, so that is like a little thing that we go through on a day-to-day basis in terms of cleansing ourselves. Now, that may not make any sense to somebody because they're not coming from it and they don't understand the symbology and the multi-layers of synchronicity that's going on. So let me try to break it down on a very simple level. So this here is talking about the identification of the human being as being a child of Ra, or being a child of the creative force. So let me read it again. I am a child of Ra. Okay, so in being a child of Ra, okay, Ra is basically the creative principle. The creative principle that's manifest within inside of nature is the sun. So what you're identifying right now is that you are a son of the sun. Okay, you are the son of the sun, and you're also the son of the creative force behind the sun that existed prior to the sun as well. So your mind is traveling into like 3 dimensions. Okay, 3 dimensions as being, first of all, you're traveling into the dimensions of the unseen, which is to do with the mythos of creation, the unseen elements, okay, of creation, that force that creates things, that causes things to move, the prime mover, the first thing that causes all things to cause into or to come into existence and being. And there's a whole mythology with that. If you understand the mythology, you're now focusing and synchronizing yourself with that mythology itself. The second level you're going into is to do with nature, or the natural realm, the celestial in particular, which is the sun. So Your mind is going there. So whatever the sun is, you are as well. So you're supposed to be a light to the world. You're supposed to be a provider. You're supposed to be one that gives knowledge. You're supposed to be the one that so much different things that the sun actually does for humanity itself. And you're also linking into astronomy, and also realizing how things came into existence. All of these things, just by simply saying these words your mind is supposed to travel on a multiplicity of levels, if that makes any sense. Does that make sense? I hope it doesn't make sense, because I hope you all know that we are all children of the sun. We're all coming from the stardust that created us, that created the planets, that created all of these different types of things there. So your mind is supposed to travel back. If you're educated correctly from inside of the Kemetic school, your mind is supposed to travel back, and you're supposed to identify yourself with being the same sun, and you have the same properties and principles and essence inside of you to cause life to come into existence, just like the sun. So I'm just trying to break something down to you. Hopefully I'm not going too fast. Hopefully I make it as simple as possible, but I'm just trying to give you something. So another line here says, I'm a child of the Lord of life, Lord to the limit. Okay, never chair. So again, you're saying you're the child of the Lord of life. So the Lord of life is the container of life, the container of life, all life, etc. So you're supposed to be an embodiment of life. You're supposed to be an embodiment of the principle of Ankh, which is life. You're supposed to be that embodiment. You're supposed to be a Lord within inside of your own self, and you're also supposed to be the Lord to the limit. Nebuchadnezzar is talking about the grand expanse of the universe, but you're supposed to be a chair in the sense that whatever you survey yourself and you have power and control of, you're supposed to be the manifest truth within inside of that realm itself, and you're supposed to be embodying the principle of life and giving life to all those things. So if it's your children, you need to make sure that you're a Lord of that limit, a Lord of whatever perimeter that they're in. You're supposed to be giving them life, feeding them with knowledge, feeding them with wisdom, feeding them with nourishment, and so forth, and teaching them how to be as a human being and how to exist. So there's all those multiplicities of principles that's just spoken about within like a simple prayer that most people would read over and be like, okay, I don't get it, I don't get it. But once you're properly schooled inside of the Kemetic school of understanding, and you climb those layers and you learn, for example, the Kemetic creed, and you go through those type of training and education, you'll understand it a little bit better. Next one here says, I'm created from the tears of the eye. Blumbo seed. Okay, I'm created from the tears of the eye of Ra. Again, the tears of the eye of Ra is if you know about Kemetic mythology, again, so this is the mythology, it's the philosophical aspect of it. Human beings, or the Remech, I should properly say the Remech. The Remech is actually created or born out of the eyes or the teardrops of Ra. Now, to go through the whole mythos for humans, for everybody here to understand, is going to be long, but I'm going to just quickly encapsulate some of the principles in there and just give it to you. So when we're talking about the tears of the eye of Ra, as you know, as humans, we cry. When we cry, we usually cry out of two reasons. Okay, is either there is intense pain or hurt that causes us to cry, and then there is some intense joy that actually causes us to cry. So these are the two reasons, or the two reasons. Like your eye duct now starts to well up in water and actually cry. The other way is there, like crying out of happiness and joy. Can you imagine? And crying out of sadness and mourning and so forth. These are two reasons that human beings actually cry. So what is actually that mythos is trying to tell us is that human beings as well have that two or that dual nature within inside of us. We have that dual nature. For those of us who are part of other schools, we know about the checkered floors, and it has the black and white checkered floors, and what that actually symbolizes, and obviously what we symbolize as human beings, having those dual natures of both joy and sadness. Or in psychology, we talk about we go towards things that causes us pleasure, or we try to stay away from things that causes us pain. So that's the dual aspect of humanity itself. And again, coming from the eyes of Ra, or the eye drops, or the tears from Ra, it is telling you where you come from, what anteceded you was the eyes. The eyes, again, represents knowledge, it represents light, it represents all of those different types of things there. So that whole symbology is very rich. Like when you identify with the teardrops of Ra, and you go through the mythology and you identify the certain parts, and you like, ooh, that's a rich, ooh. Ooh. And what happens to tears? What happens to water? You know, water is constantly transforming, okay? Constantly transforming. Like, for example, raindrops, it comes down, drops onto the floor. Then you have the whole, you know, cloud cycle of precipitation and so forth. So we know as human beings, we're very cyclical in nature as well. Very, very cyclical in nature. I'm pretty sure in the Quran, in the Sikhi teachings, as well as obviously in the Kemetic teachings, we have the concept from God we originated, and to God we shall return. So it's that whole cyclical nature of coming out and coming back, going back in again. So very powerful, very, very powerful. I'm not even going to go into everything into great detail. So that's one thing that we do on a daily basis. We have like a bathing ritual, which is, this is just like the short part of it. There is actually a long form of it. Then there is literally when you're creaming up your skin and all them things there, and you're oiling yourself and you're putting perfume on and so forth. And you do a process of apotheosis, which is identifying your certain body parts with the nature. But I'm never going to go into that because that's too far advanced for what we're talking about today. Hopefully, like tonight, I'm going to have people like Asar M. Khan. I know he's going to break down some mad information, yeah. So I'm just going to drop you a little things. And of course, we have our morning prayer and we have our evening prayer as well. Let me see, or I should call it dua, to be honest with you, because that's the right term for it. So we have an introductory hymn to the Son of Ra. So if you ever have purchase yourself a Book of the Dead, this is by fault now, but the proper name for the Book of the Dead is the Coming Forth by Day, Pert Em Heru, or the Ruh Pert Em Heru. Okay, that's what it's really called. But obviously, we take on the name that Europeans gave it, the Book of the Dead. But let me go there. So let me read out something real quickly for you guys. It says here, hey, okay, hail to you. You have come as Khepri, even as Khepri, who is the creator of the gods. You rise and shine on the back of your mother. Having appeared in the glory as king of the gods, your mother Nut shall use her arms on your behalf in making greetings. The Manu mountains receive you in peace. Ma'at embraces you at all seasons. May you give power and might and vindication, and then coming forth as a living soul. To me, so that's one of those prayers that we should do. Okay, I'm not even saying that we all do it, because most of us don't actually follow the spiritual system. And again, the spiritual system is talking about the unseen, incorporeal aspects that is dealing with your psychic abilities or your psychology, your state of being, and interrelation with nature, as well as the unseen elements of nature itself. So that's what we're trying to relate to. Most of us don't actually delve into that aspect, because most of us only deal with the science and the philosophy. But if you do with it, you will do that prayer on a daily basis. And then I'm not going to explain it. I'm not even going to explain it, because to go through the whole symbology of that is a long thing. That is a long thing. Okay, Callum, you should actually give a little. All right, cool. Let me give a little then. Okay, so dua to you. Okay, no, let me read in English. Hail to you. You have come as Khepri, even Khepri, who is the creator of the gods. You rise and shine on the back of your mother. All right, let me stop. So let me go back. Hail to you. So basically, you're given adoration. This takes place at the morning time, at the rising of the sun. Okay. So this takes place at the beginning of the day, the rising of the sun. So like other groups where you wake up early hours of the morning, like we're supposed to wake up early all hours of the morning. To be honest with you, we're supposed to be on astronomy, like on astronomy hard. I should bring out my astrolabe and all those things there in my telescopes to let you guys know how deep you're supposed to be in it. Okay, there's something called the morning star. All right, let me go into this a little bit. Yeah, let me go into a little bit, because otherwise, how you not gonna actually understand? But I shouldn't even go into, because it's too much, man. I ain't got no time for this. All right, cool. Let me go into a little bit. So in the morning, before the sun rises, you have a period of time which is called the dawn. Okay, and at dawn, there is usually, before the sun rises, there's something called the morning star. Morning star, you know, could be a planet, could be a star. I'm not even going to go into that right now. And as soon as you see that, you realize that in the next few minutes, the sun is actually going to rise, because that star there now, dips, and then the sun rises, and usually you can see the little glow of the sun like about to take place. So usually at that point, just before the sun actually rises, you're supposed to put yourself in adoration poses. Let me see if I can show you like a little something. Adoration poses, adoration poses, adoration poses. Boom, boom, boom. Nope, that's not adoration pose. Let's see. Anyway, adoration pose is like that. Adoration pose is like that. It's like that. It's literally like that. It's literally like that. I don't know if you can see here. Can you see? Yeah, that's an adoration pose. So you're meant to put yourself in an adoration pose at this particular time, and you're supposed to welcome in the coming in of the sun. And again, you're working on multi-dimensional levels as well. And at that time, you're saying you have come, you having come as Khepri. Khepri literally means, Khepri or Khepar literally means to transform, to evolve, to move, to, it's like a cyclical nature. When you actually go into, this is another thing, this is what I love ancient Egypt, it's so very iconography, is very much pictorial. So again, you have a picture of the scarab beetle. Okay, the scarab beetle actually represents Khepri. Why does it represent Khepri? Because it's a dung beetle that usually rolls a ball of dung, okay, into the mud, sand, dirt, whatever you want to call it, the earth, and it rolls it, okay, and you see a nice perfect ball. So that was a nice symbology again for the sun, okay, the power behind the sun, which is the black unseen power behind the sun, which is the Khepri, the beetle, which is transforming something as small as this into something massive as that. So that's the process of the sun coming into existence, or things coming into existence, full stop. That's something else. I'm not even going to go into that, but that whole process of transformation is what we're actually giving our prayers and adoration to, the evolutionary process that the divine nature actually has. It causes things to come into being on a very cyclical, very transformational basis. Even Khepri, who is the creator of all the gods. So again, when it's talking about that, it's talking about, in the beginning, there was nothing but silence. All that existed was Atum or Khepri or Ra, whatever it is, whichever names you want to talk about, because we're only talking about a divine aspect that we're actually focalizing on. We're talking about that. And in the beginning, there was nobody else. There was just pure silence until he started to call things into existence, or call, let's say, these divine beings or forces into existence. Let's just take it from the religious aspect. We're now calling the light. Let there be light. We're calling the light beings into being, for example, which will be the angelic beings into beings, the beings that belong into the intelligibles. So before anything actually existed, this principle of Khepri, of coming into being, caused all other beings to come into existence, or all other things to come into existence, all other principles and essence that comes into existence. Nothing could come into existence without a process of coming into existence, if that makes sense. I hope it does. So we're actually giving thanks and praise to that divine force that is now manifesting within inside of nature. So our mind is going back to the divine, which is the unseen principle, but then we also have a power through the power of synthetic magic. I'm going to use the term synthetic magic, where we actually seeing the sun manifesting within inside of nature, coming into being, just like in the primordial times where things actually came into being. So we're now focalizing on that, and we're seeing it manifest there. And now we're actually doing that within inside of ourselves as well. Our mind, which is the highest aspect of us, is now, we're putting ourselves in the right state of mind to cause things to come into being. Why am I saying that? Because we are supposed to be Mi Ra, or Iri Ra. We're supposed to be like Ra, or like the God, or like the creator. And we're also supposed to act like the creator as well. So we're supposed to put ourselves into that divine realm, divine place, where we're now emulating the divinity. So when we come to ourselves in this terrestrial plane, and we want to cause things to come into being, we now have the blueprint and the black print. We have the blueprint and the black print of how to do those things. We have the black print in terms of the mythological, philosophical concepts and precepts that we already have embodied in our mind, and we're seeing it manifest within inside of nature. And we know on a terrestrial level we can do the same thing because it's confirmed to us. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. So in the mornings, we usually do this particular prayer. And hopefully, most of us would now start declaring things to come into existence. Just like God had the ability to call things into existence, let there be this, let there be that, kun fire kun, etc., etc., etc. We now also have the ability to actually conceptualize things and cause things to come into existence by merely uttering those things. For those of us who know about the law of attraction or watch The Secret, like that's kind of where it's coming from. That's literally where it's coming from right there. I don't know if you watch The Secret. Right at the beginning, you see them in ancient Egypt, and you see Jehuti there, and they're there transcribing in the scroll, and they roll it up and they hide it, and there's the Romans are coming in, and the Knight Templars, and then it goes into the business. The business people have the secret, and they're trying to keep the secret hush hush. This is the secret that's been taught throughout the ages, from ancient Egypt into Greece, into Rome, into alchemy, into the Arabian times, and then into the Knight Templars that came in and took it, and then obviously through the what's it called? The industrial revolution, and then into the business world. Like, we kept this secret hush hush and so forth. So that's what it's all about. Yeah, give me one hot second. And then obviously we have a nighttime prayer as well, which I don't even want to go into, actually. I don't want to go into it because it's going to be long, and I don't have no time to be explaining all of it. I want to keep some things back for you guys. Give me 1 second. Again. Yeah, buddy. So there's a nighttime prayer, which actually focuses, like the suntime prayer or the daytime prayer focuses on the living and the life and right now and so forth. The nighttime prayer actually focuses on the spiritual aspects of the unseen, and technically to do with the transformation of being alive to being dead. Being alive to being dead. Terminology. That's not the right terminology. It deals with the after effects of the transformation, should I say. The after effects of the transformation, and it deals with the concept of Jed meaning stability, to be there for all eternity. This principle is to do with Nene, which is to do with eternity in terms of day-to-day basis of reoccurrence. Jed principle deals with the nighttime principle of endless darkness, endless sameness, endless continuity, and so forth, and what you hope for in the future to be continuous. Anything else? Because that's another school of thought that I don't think should be spoken about right now. Yeah, it shouldn't be spoken about right now. That's something else. So what I want to do, so I hopefully I've given you a little something. Hopefully I haven't just been rambling. I hope I haven't been rambling. I do hope so. You guys gotta let me know if I've been rambling or not. But yeah, these are the certain concepts that are within inside of Kemetic spirituality. And I want to, my dream, my brother, all book of known references. Yeah. So Asa, MK, tonight, my brother, I want to know if you're free tonight. We can do the show on spirituality. Yeah, we can do the show on spirituality because I know you're on this thing. Okay, so I'm gonna go up, I'm gonna scroll up now, and I'm loving it. I'm loving the likes, keep hitting up the likes, because if you love what we're doing right now, just hit up the likes, because I love that. We've got 26 likes and I'm loving that. I'm seeing that you're all here for it. So what I'm going to say is I'm going to go and read up some of the comments real quickly and see if I can answer any of them. And Asa, quickly Facebook me, because whilst I'm reading out some of these comments, you can jump on and actually, speak the thing if you're available, that is. And Phil as well, if you want to come in and speak the thing real quickly, because I'm just doing this like real quickly for a build up for tonight. What's going on? My computer's moving mad slow. Let's see if I got enough battery life. 18%. All right, cool. So if you can come in as quickly as possible. Where are you? Message me if you can, King. Message me. Make my life much easier if you just message me via Facebook, and I will get you in. Now let me get back into this. Let me just read some of your comments. Okay, must be. All right. Man, like Pio, I'm just reading your comment right now. Peace to you, Pio. All the way from Hamburg, you know. I love that. Here we go. My brother Asar is going to be in here in a minute. Oh, man. Muscular V says, science is an Islamic convention. Did you know that? Buddha man ranting, if Islam came to revise Christianity, logically, it's off that order. All right. Okay. Okay. I guess you're not talking to B Snuff. Like, I had to read out what you're saying. Okay. Pio says, we are Stardust, child. This is the most romantic thing which science can say. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Is he in? Oh, Star, man. Come on, man. Speaking. Like, the floor is open to you because I'm just reading the comments. I'll stop you when it's time for me to.
In the top, son. Uncle Astajed, Uncle Jasaneb, Sini, Seba, Brother Kalam EPSL. If y'all don't know, he telling you from the Book of Noon. This is not Quranic references. Get your mouth right when you say stuff like that. And I'm glad you mentioned this. Let me tell you some of the references, because you find these in the pyramid text, you find these in the coffin text, you find these in the book of coming forth by day, which you probably call the book of the dead. But these are statements from the kings and from the people in ancient Kemet, which tells you that some of these people are know-nothings, as you'll find in Ptahhotep. They know nothing about Kemet. Verse 211, verse 132. I, King Winnus, was conceived in the night. I was born in the night. I belong to the followers of Ra, Shemsu Ra, who are before the morning star. I was conceived in noon. I was born in noon. I have come and I have brought to you the bread of those I found there. Simple as that. What that is, to explain to you and to show you. The brother is telling you the truth. We don't dig in the Quran and the Bible and the Talmud and the Tanakh. And no, we come from our sources because we know where you got your sources from. So no, they're not Quranic references, brothers. But come on home to Kemet, since you're already over there repainting the walls anyway. You want to be with us? Come on in. It's all good. It's all good.
Jeez, I love that. Oh man, I'm still here reading some of these comments, but I can't find anything that is of substance, you know, for me to talk about right now. So keep it flowing, King. Keep it flowing.
I mean, I did this on my show. I think you was already on the right track when I was talking about the natural real or fake, since most people don't know. But since you're talking about the noon, we can keep going. This is so that you guys can hear some precepts from the book of Noon, from a book that we work with, not something that you pull from somebody else's scriptures. You should read your own text, refute what they talk about. Here we go. Utterance 222, verse 207. Cast off your impurity for Atum in Heliopolis, which we call Enu, and go down with him. Assign the needs of the lower sky and succeed to the thrones of Noon. What do you succeed to? You succeed to the sky. Words, when these cats come on here with these crazy epithets and start reading their book all crazy, tell them utterance 233, verse 237. Fall, serpent that came from the earth. Fall, flame that came forth from Noon. Fall down, crawl away. That's what you need to do when you see a rematch. Because if we start quoting our text, you're not going to survive. I'm telling you right now, you're not going to make it. Utterance 250, verse 268. That is King Winnus. I am Sia. Sia is right guidance, righteousness on the right hand of Allah. We would say on the right hand of Ra, if you don't know. I am Sia, who is at the west of Ra, reserved of heart, at the fore of the cavern of Noon. The cavern of Noon, the gates of heaven, the Noon, the sky. If you don't know, get a clue. I'm going to read one more. Utterance 258, verse 310. King Winnus is the one who is on his own, the eldest of the Netcher. His bread offering is for above with Ra. His feast is from noon. That's because when you die, you become a part of the Netcher. You transform. You don't die. Energy doesn't die. You become a part of the Netcher rule. You join the creation again in your spiritual form. Let me give you a quick story, right? Let me explain your body real quick. When you are born, you are sperm and you are egg. You are two separate beings and two separate humans. When you come together in your mother's womb, you may become twins. You may become quadruplets. But now you are another form that you just united with. When you become a human and you're pushed out of the womb, you notice you can't go back to the place you came from. This is why when you ask people to come back, generally they can't. You know what you can do though? You may have intercourse with the female and you may populate that area. You're creating more of what you just were. And she's doing the same thing. So when you transform this next time, guess what you'll become? We already know you're stardust. Guess what you're returning to? The Netcheru. You're going to be parts of the atmosphere, parts of the earth. Your energy will travel. You are part of the noon. Come on, I got to go to work. Imhotep, Saber.
Jeez. Oh man, you just came here and just shut it down. Still, we give thanks, man. We give thanks. Imhotep, Uncle Justineb. That's it. My brothers are doing the thing, you know. Listen. Tonight, tonight we're gonna try to make this show like monumental because I know a lot of you guys been asking for this. I hope you've been waiting for this. So we're gonna drop some stuff for you, man. We're gonna drop some stuff for you. Kemet is so very much so vast and dimensional as well. So let's see what we can do for you guys. Do people go to Speaker's Corner in winter? Yep, they do. This American Brother's killing it. Still massacre. Trust me, all the information is cool, but where are being applied? All them words and whatnot. Not doing anything. So what's the point in this life? And tell me, what are we doing? The question is not what are we doing, is what are you doing? What are you doing? Let's see. The creative force prior to the sun, is that something that still exists? Hope my question makes sense. Yeah. The creative force prior to the sun, is that something that still exists? Yeah, man. Those are things such as quantum fluctuations. Those are things such as electrons, protons, neutrons, and so forth. Those are things such as atoms. Those are such things as hydrogen that combines with helium to actually make the sun or to make stars, etc. So yeah, these things still do exist if we're talking on a elementary level. And obviously you have the intelligible level, which is the, how can I put it? What's the intelligible level? Theoretical level. That makes any sense? The theory of how things be. You need to have the theory before it manifests physically on this realm. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm trying my best to simplify as possible. I know, man. I know that, bruv. I know. I need some new ones. Allow me, man. Allow me. Y'all ain't funding me, man. Y'all ain't funding me. I think people get such answers and decision. Dissociate pre-Islamic Arabia from Kemet. I fail to understand. Why do people give such reactionary answers and dissociate pre-Islamic Arabia from Kemet? I fail to understand. Yeah, for real. Akashi El Daily does a very wonderful book and shows the connection between Kemet and Arabia, because obviously Arabia was part of the Kemetic. Let me say this. Let me rephrase it. Parts of Arabia was part of Kemetic rulership. Okay, was part of the Kemetic Empire. And it's heavily influenced. Pre-Islamic Arabia is heavily influenced with ancient Egyptian culture and peoples. You are right, very much so. But let me not say that. Put on my throat. But you said it, not me. What is here? Okay, I have Discover Titans TV. Really enjoying your shows, Kalam. I didn't know anything about Kemet, but learning lots from I am Oledina, I think. Forgive me if I butchered your name. Ex-Muslim, now Hindu revert. Why do people give such a? Okay, I already read that out. I have to go work. But if my Muslim brothers want that work, come get it. Oh man, the side's getting it in. Cool. So yeah, I don't really want to do much more. I don't really want to do much more. I don't really want to do much more. I just want to make sure I get this show popping tonight. Easy. Yeah. So tonight, let's get a show popping, and let's make it really good. Let's make it really good. African goddess, where did them? Okay, like give them a rest for a little bit. So if you guys got any questions, if you guys got any questions, let me know. Let me know if you got any questions, and I will try my best to answer them. Just tag Titans TV. That's all we got to do. Is tag Titans TV, baby. 2012 FBI states they didn't want to share intel with local law enforcement because it was infiltrated by white supremacists. Wow, interesting show. Kind of make it clear the Kemet equals all of Africa and is bigger than Egypt. Okay, so there is how we utilize Kemet in its modern usage for those people who understand the language. Okay, for those people who understand the language, and then there is the usage in ancient days. Okay, I'm talking about in the empire of Kemet. The empire of Kemet technically was Kemet Naut. Okay, Kemet Naut. For those people who actually learn the language and know the language, you will see the symbolism. You have, you know, like a crocodile back or crocodile tail, crocodile skin, which represents the phoneme of Kem, or it's a biliteral that represents Kem. And then you have basically a semicircle, which is a loaf of bread, basically, that says Kemet. Okay, it just says Kemet, and the word Kem or Kemet literally just denotes blackness. It depends on what type of determinative that you have on the end of the actual word. Most people don't have a clue what I'm talking about. It's cool. For those of us who understand the language, you know where I'm going with this, okay? But then usually when we're talking about the landmass, the empire, the city, and the township of Kemet, you will see a little circle with an X in between, okay? And that X with the circle, if you was to vocalize it, it was literally say Naut, okay? So there is Kamaut or Kemet, Kemet Naut, okay, which is the empire of Kemet. The Kemet Naut literally span, depending on which time zone or time level you're going from, as far down into Sudan, some will even say into Ethiopia, and as far up north, even into Greeceland, Greeks, like those type of islands there, and then as far east into Syria and beyond, and then far west into Libya, and Central Africa, so to speak. That is the vastness of the landmass of the Kemet Naut, or the empire of Kemet. Now, that is a lot of countries, okay? So that's like Ethiopia, Sudan, Egypt, Libya, Algeria, Chad, well, those little regions over into, Israel, Syria, Jordan, Arabia, and so forth. So there's all of that landmass was considered at one point Kemet Naut, or the empire of Kemet. We utilize Kemet today in its modern sense. One of its utilizations is to say the Black Lands, or Kemet too, meaning the Black Lands, okay? And we refer that to as being Africa as well, just because it's the land of the Black people, like it's the Black Lands. Like, I don't even know. It's how we utilize it in its modern sense, okay? Modern sense. So hopefully that answers your question about kind of make it. Let me just see. Scroll back up, since like there was loads of questions after that. Make it. Okay. Do you talk to your what is Kevin's view? Okay, I guess we have I saw a workman coming, so I guess I have to go, family. I guess I've got to go. I guess I could go. Oh, just bear with me. Stay 1 second. Wow. So I guess I'm gonna have to be going very shortly because I've got responsibilities to be handling now. Let me just see quickly, real quickly, what have you guys got to say? I'm actually gonna do another show in about 3 hours time. About 3 hours timing as well. And we can catch up. We can actually catch up, family. Let me just quickly see what's going on in the chat section. Okay, it's all right, but okay, cool. Hey Sarah, you got your tongue is sharp, let me just read this slow motion for you guys. Like somebody asked Sarah, like, what is your purpose in life? What is it, to make babies? Yeah. Man says, one of my purpose in life is to avoid weirdos like you. So I don't know why. I found it funny, I found that funny. I found it too funny. Okay, cool. Listen, the Google chat is open now. Sarah, jump in. I'm closing off. Yeah. Everybody who wants to jump in, like the link is there literally down below. Jump in and have fun, man. I love the fact that we had 34, or I think we had like 33 or 34 likes here with no dislikes. I don't know who the hater is, but they gave us a dislike. But it's all good. It's all to be expected. But thank you guys for showing the love and support. Keep up with the thumbs up, man. And if you haven't, like, watch from the very beginning, go back to the very beginning so you can kind of get the impetus of what started off this show, because we're talking about Kemetic spirituality and so forth. And hopefully tonight we're going to do another show. See, look, now that more hate is going to be coming in, because I said that, there's another dislike, a third dislike. You see the ways there. They love to hate, man. They love to hate, but they're here watching, but they still love to hate. Trust me. And we all know who these haters are. We all know. So yeah, what I'm going to do, yo, my brother, I love that. Phil, you're here with me, man. So what I want to do, love. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna sign out right now. But everybody, please jump in. Jump in. We're gonna do the after show. Let's see. Everybody jumping in. Ahmed is in here. African Goddess is in here. Sam is in here. So everybody jumping in right now. We're gonna do the after show as per usual. You can see everybody jumping in, man. So if you want to jump in, the link is here. I'm posting it once more. And we can keep it flowing. We can definitely keep it flowing. I will be doing a show hopefully in the next 3 hours or so, like a little live in the car, like driving, just talking. So if you want to come in for that, come in for that. But again, 10 p.m. tonight, I'm going to say inshallah, 10 p.m. tonight, we should be doing a show, hopefully on Kemetic, not even hopefully, on Kemetic spirituality. We're going to go into some more depth. We can pull out some scriptures for you guys. And yeah, that's it. So yeah, peace and love, family. Peace and love.